Here we have a low mileage 2022 Audi E-Tron GT. This one's a Quattro, so of course we have two electric motors to make it all-wheel drive, one on each axle. We have a 93 kilowatt-hour battery, liquid cooled. And this one comes in ibis white. And then we have the black Dynamica leather red interior. But a fantastic look for this E-Tron GT. Coming around the front end here, we have our LED headlamps along with our LED daytime running lights, and they don't flash like that. That's just how the camera's picking up the lights, but stunning design here, absolutely fantastic. And then as we come around the wheels here, these are gonna be 20s. Again, just the overall design of this E-Tron is very, very beautiful. Now we get passive keyless entry on all four doors. And we have the natural wood throughout, which looks great. Power door lock controls are here. Memory seat functions. We have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all four doors. And what's cool is we can either lock the back right or the back left window so no one's able to get out there. Just put a child lock in the whole thing, so pretty neat. And then two-stage memory seats. We have power mirror controls here, and then we can turn them to one side and power fold. And then the blind spot monitor is right there. So just keep an eye on that for the test drive. I'm gonna pop the trunk now. And then our headlamp controls are here. So we can toggle that between auto, low beam, corners. And then we do have a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, and the button for that is right in here. So I can push it up, pull it down, and then pull it back or push it forward. So pretty neat trick there. And then here's our power driver seat, pretty adjustable, power lumbar support, and we also have power thigh support as well. Don't see that in a lot of EVs, but I love this Dynamica here. It looks fantastic. But I have that seat up front, adjust for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's check out the room back here. So pretty impressive room. I'm 6'3" with longer legs. That seat up front's adjusted for someone of my size. And there's a decent amount of space back here that I was not expecting. A lot of that has to do with how the seat's made too. So that bottom part is just taking up enough of the seat where my knees are not touching. Now, if I had this top part here, I'd have a problem, but just really good design all the way around. And now we have our rear AC controls here. We can adjust the temperature, and then the AC vents are back here as well. And then this middle seat, we can fold it down. And cup holders are there. But a great view through this glass panoramic roof here. And then grab handle here. We can hang one or two shirts on this hook here. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the back. But I want to give a huge shout out to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below to it, as well as their entire inventory in the description below. But decent sized trunk space. I like that we have the cups on either side to hold objects that we want to keep in the trunk, but we don't want them rolling all over the place, and even a cool net to keep maybe a map or something small, a sheet of paper. And then the chargers in here, and whoever had this actually had a pretty neat setup, 240, and then a portable EV charger. I've never seen one of those. And there's a little bit of storage underneath here where you put your tire inflator and all that. I'm gonna close the trunk up. LED tail lights. Again, they don't flash like that. That's just how the camera picks it up. But again, that design is fantastic. We're gonna come around to the back seat here. And if you wanna fold this seat down for whatever reason, you just pull up on this button, and you can do this on both sides, and you can run longer objects from the back all the way to the front there. And then pretty easy to just sling it back up. And then here's our front passenger seat. Pretty much same adjustability as the driver's side, which I appreciate. Let me cut this air down. And then again, the natural wood, beautiful. Glove compartment here we can lock, and then looks like we have a window sticker here. And here are all the standard features that come on here. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look. And not a bad price, honestly, for what you get. Especially since you get a pretty good charging infrastructure with this e-Tron, as opposed to some of the other EVs on the market. And then here is our charge port. And if you need a DC fast charge, you can fold that down. Pretty easy to use. But again, I can't say enough about this design. It's very, very impressive. Well, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat here. So we do have the Alcantara steering wheel, which is just neat. I like how it feels, but I also like how it looks as well. Now, over here to the screen here, I'm gonna cut the car back on. But we have our radio controls here. We do get FM and XM, and we can use online radio as well when applicable. But one of my favorite things is we get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, along with Bluetooth. And then the nav screens here. This is going to be a 10.1-inch screen. And if you want to search for a destination, just click that there. Start typing something, it'll pull up suggestions. And then you also have fast charging, which is pretty neat. It'll show you all of the closest chargers. So, pretty responsive and pretty intuitive in my opinion. And I like that you can kind of find a rest area, things like that. Now back to the home page here. If you go in a vehicle, you can check out your vehicle settings. So there's a button for this, but I'm going to show you now. We can go through our Audi Drive Select, so it'll raise suspension, lower suspension, steering feel, all of that. And then we have vehicle data available here. And it really helps you see how efficient you can be or cannot be, if that makes sense. So efficiency assist is here. So you can set your recuperation to automatic or manual. Charging here shows you the battery level. And then your driver assistance, all of that's here. You can set that to max, individual, or basic. And hopefully we'll get a chance to test that out on the test drive. But here's where you can set up your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to use your wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. And then you have roadside assistance, weather, all that you need a subscription for. And there's a home page, and you can configure that as well. There's our backup camera. Guidelines follow us as we turn the steering wheel. Decent picture. But other than that, I mean, you can really get into whatever you want to with this screen. Set up your settings for navigation, entertainment, the phone, everything. Even set up your contacts if you want to. And then your general settings is going to be right in here, and you can go through all of that there. But down below here, we do have dual zone automatic climate controls. We can control temperature here, and then you can unsync it there, fan speed here, and then you can control the AC, which I really like. You can have Eco, Max, and then you can have on, or you can cut the whole system off, or the whole AC system off, excuse me. And then here's where you can control your fan direction. And if you want to turn everything off, you just hit the off button there. And then you can even close the vents automatically or manually, depending on what's going on outside. Defrosters here, auto mode toggle here. I love that you can turn it on and off. And then the same thing with the sync, because a lot of systems you have to either control the fan speed or the other temperature to unsync or to take the auto mode off. So love that. And then interesting that the vents are down here, but I've kind of gotten used to it. It's spraying up at me, but I kind of like that it's out of the way so you can get that beautiful view of the screen there. Then again, the Drive Select, we can go through all that here. traction control, hazards, parking sensors, and this for the screen. So we can hold that and turn it off. And then down here we have our shifter. So pull all the way up for reverse, hold down for neutral, push all the way down for drive, press P for park, and that puts the electronic parking brake on. And your push button starts there. Little storage pocket here. And this is actually pretty neat. You can control your volume here, and it's kind of just a dial, and you can go through your radio stations or track lists using these arrows here, turn the whole system off here, and then mute here. Cup holders. Center console cubby space. You get 2 USB-C charge ports and a 12-volt down in there. Not a big size, but it's whatever. One more look at that roof. View of the back seat. And then back to the steering wheel here. Paddle shifters behind are for the regenerative braking. And then you can use this. If you click that, you can go through your vehicle settings there. If you want to charge or look at lap times, whatever. Back button. Use this view button to go through the different views for the digital gauge cluster there. And then you can use this to go through the top sub menus. So whether it's music, phone, nav, or the settings for the vehicle, you can go through all of that. And then to the right side, Bluetooth controls, voice recognition. You can set this up as a button and you can assign it whatever you want to. And then track list, radio station presets there, volume controls here. But again, the push button starts here. Blinkers are here. You can toggle your safety system here. And then high beams there. Right side of the steering wheel, windshield wiper controls, one time, auto, low, high, and then you can control how sensitive your automatic wipers are here. Hope that's a good enough view. And then finally, here's the key fob. But now to what I'm most excited about. Let's go ahead and take this Audi E-Tron GT Quattro out on the road for a test drive. So behind the wheel of the Audi E-Tron GT, this car is one of the most futuristic EVs I've been in. Just with the sound of the vehicle, the technology, this digital gauge cluster really makes you feel like you're in a spaceship, and the steering wheel, all the controls make it feel that way as well. And a lot of EVs have a feeling of being a car that's just electric, but this feels like a spaceship that had to be made into a car. It just, like I said, everything's so futuristic, so neat. And having the adjustable suspension is pretty nice. Now you get about as low as you can go in the efficiency mode, and then dynamic and comfort mode tend to raise the suspension a bit. But this car is super quick. And it's what you'd expect, but it still impressed me just putting my foot into it. And Auto Collection of Murfreesboro just dropped the price on this, so it's a good time to get it. It's only, I think, $91,000 now. And you have less than 4,300 miles on it. And it drives like new. It really does. Now I'm in a little bit of stop and go traffic right now, but even driving through the city, this dynamic mode is pretty comfortable. Now, of course, with it being an EV, it's just a tad bouncier than you'd probably get in an A8 or something like that, but still extremely comfortable. And that's what you're expecting from an Audi, especially a six-figure Audi. Now, I am a little disappointed. Now, Porsche and Audi kind of put their foot down in not having a one-pedal drive feel. You have different levels of regen, but I just love being able to recoup the battery. So this is okay, but I would have loved to have a one-pedal drive with this car. But if you're a true auto enthusiast, you probably won't care. You'll keep it off anyway. Now, the way the seats are and just the car is, I'm in kind of a weird driving position. I like it, but I can scoot the seat back a lot more. I just chose not to for the sake of this test drive. I'm gonna scoot it back now just to show you the difference, because this is how I would normally drive. I just want to get a good viewpoint, but where this is such a skinny line of sight, I wanted to make sure you all could see the road ahead of me. But we're gonna put our foot down momentarily. Hopefully. I mean, just incredible pull. Gosh. That was awesome. Now let's put the cruise on here. So pretty smooth ride again, even in the dynamic mode. A little bit of wind noise, but just how this car is made, and you pretty much have glass everywhere. Nothing bothersome at all. I'd rather have all the light coming in. But I mean, a powerful car. But I do like, in terms of just driving, not having to try and gauge the one pedal drive or the regen braking. So having it completely off is actually not bad, and you still get the regen when you put your foot to the brake pedal. But I mean, this thing is, whew, it's quick. It's real quick. Now the only thing this E-Tron GT does not have that I would like to see would be the decked out driver assistance package. So being able to get adaptive cruise control and lane centering, which is a big deal to someone like me. I'd like to have that. But especially if you don't plan on doing a lot of charging, a lot of long trips, and you just drive this back and forth to work, or you just want a weekend car that's fast, this is the perfect option. I just love the driving feel, and I haven't even gone to the efficiency mode. I'm sure it'll be in eco mode, but I really don't feel a need to get out of this dynamic mode. And what makes that great is the ride, I don't suffer. I don't feel like I have to go to a comfort mode or whatever. It probably would be more comfortable in that mode, but this is great. I love the steering feel. I love the acceleration, everything about that. I just don't have a need to go to comfort. But I'll see on this bumpy road if that makes a difference real quick. So to me, not a noticeable difference. Again, because it felt so good in dynamic mode. The steering is a bit looser, but again, 98% of the time I would keep it in the dynamic mode, probably even on road trips as well, because I like having that instant torque when I need it. I like the sportier steering feel, because I tend to take driving, especially on longer road trips, a little bit more seriously than a lot of others. But this is still a great car. It's a bit expensive, but you really do get what you pay for with this Audi E-Tron GT. But this will bring me to the end of this review of the 2022 Audi E-Tron GT Quattro.